are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in.
What does this thing do there? Holy Lord mackerel. Not a good thing.
You are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. You are a winner, feel no pain. You are a winner, feel no pain. Yeah, I woke up feeling like a champion. Every move I make, I got the stamina. Eyes on the prize, never lose sight. Grinding every day, pushing through the night. Got the fire in my soul, never back down. In the ring of life, I'm the one with the crown. Sweat and tears, yeah, I paid the cost. Every battle fought, I'm never lost. Hit the ball, feel a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. Every challenge met, every goal in sight. In the gym, on the grind, it's a warrior's fight. From the bottom to the top, yeah, I've been there. With the heart of a lion, I face the dare. No fear, no limits, just pure drive. In the race of life, I'm alive. With every push, with every strain, I'm a winner, feel the gain. Hit the ball, feel the power. In this moment, it's our hour. Rise above, break the chain. You a winner, feel no pain. You are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. In this moment, own your name. You are a winner in this game. You are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. Stand tall, in the gym, on the grind, it's a warrior's fight. From the bottom to the top, yeah, I've been there. With the heart of a lion, I face the dare. No fear, no limits, just pure drive. In the race of life, I'm alive. With every push, with every strain, I'm a winner, feel the gain. In the mirror, what do you see? Out in the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win.
Yeah. Welcome back again, beautiful people. Welcome back to Blueclouds Media. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to all our viewers, subscribers, followers, and all other platforms that follow and listen to us each and every year or every time, every morning, evening. Yes, today we'll be looking at match week 31. The particular round of fixture produced a series of significant results with major implication for the title race, the battle for European qualification, and the fight against relegation. Notably, the week was defined by collective symbol of top four, as none of the league leading 5 teams managed to secure a substantial victory. I say victory. Liverpool also got beat. I think it lost to Fulham. At the other end, we also look at the table. We witness a history as Southampton relegation. Southampton being relegation to the championship that was being confirmed. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace achieved a remarkable and historical victory under challenging circumstances, while crucial points were claimed by team vying for European sport. Also, we will discuss these key events, analyzing the tactical nuances, and discuss the subsequent shift on the league table. We will encourage you to share your thoughts. Don't forget, also share your comments in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to Blueclouds Media YouTube channel, do me a favor, subscribe, whichever platform you are watching this stream from, whether X or YouTube. Be part of our growing followers, and so you don't miss anything from this platform. At the end of the day, we will get to the bottom of it. Your questions will be answered as I'm here with Stephen G and Tyler. Raleigh, man himself, also is joining us here on the show today. So do not go nowhere. Nate Zion, Stephen G, Raleigh will take you guys about an hour and a half of intriguing and entertaining live stream. So be part of it. Do not go anywhere. Blueclouds Media is live on YouTube and X. Right back in the show minutes. Hello, boys. Well, that's the boys. Welcome back to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching the stream from. Welcome you to Blueclouds Media Show. I'm here with the man on the right, left-hand side. I should go that way. Stephen G. And the man down there. Yeah, down there is Mr. Tyler Raleigh. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Well, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. I would like to apologize for the technical issue, slight technical issue at the start of the program. We do apologize about it, but we're pleased to say it is all sorted. We're ready to go. Let's get on with it.
I don't know why it does that. When I have the main screen like that, and I have an intro playing, so as soon as I switch to a different scene, then it cut off the intro. Just like when I click on the clapping and then I change everything. Everything went off. I don't know why it does that. This is StreamYard stuff, but never mind. Steven, you all right?
Yeah, all good.
You look calm and collected. Are you cold?
No, it's actually warm, so I've had to put my fan on and open my window.
I wish I have that weather. It's too cold over here. Riley, what about you? How was your weekend?
Oh, the weekend. Well. Shock results over the weekend. I'm going to be honest with you. These Premier League weeks can't get enough drama. And what we discovered is possibly a twist in this title race. But ultimately, the weekend was absolutely brilliant. The sun was out. Sadly, my local team went down to relegation to the UCL, lost 3-1 at home. But you know what? I wanted the Premier League to create more drama, and yes, it did. But Friday night, I actually watched the Lionesses at home versus Belgium.
Holland?
The Lionesses. The Lionesses played Belgium, smacking them 5-0.
They play them again tomorrow in Belgium, isn't it?
Yes, so it's a double hitter.
Two players were on target. Aggie Beaver Jones and was it four?
Four
Four of the 5 goals for Chelsea. The other one was just Parker Man City.
Oh, okay.
So Lucy Bonds, Millie Bright, Aggie Beaver Jones, Kira Rolls, Beaver Jones, first senior goal for the Lionesses.
Kira Walsh first one as well.
As Kira Rolsh. So
yeah, I was listening to the commentary on the radio whilst I was still doing my job outside. So I had Walsh got her first goal ever for England international, and then also I know
she came close minutes before that as well. She hit the post just minutes before that as well.
Incredible. Chelsea team has a very, very bright future. Yeah,
next
very,
up,
very
she can get a goal for Chelsea against Barcelona, please and thanks.
Right. Anyway, guys, let's get it rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. Steven, do you want to say something?
I'm sharing the Premier League table if you want as well, by the way.
Yes, sir. We'll get into the Premier League here soon. Over the weekend, there were interesting results over there where we saw Fulham beat Liverpool. Fulham beat Liverpool. Was it 3-2? 3-2.
3-2 in the end. Liverpool were 1-0 up, then Fulham were 3-1 up, and then Liverpool scored about the 75th minute.
Yeah, first half, it recorded 3 goals in the first half from Fulham. What's wrong with Liverpool? What is going on with Liverpool, Stephen G? In the 27th minute tactical, breakdown between Liverpool and Fulham. We'll be going through that. So, guys, wherever you're watching us from, I forgot. Let me go through this real quick before we get into it. From Andrew, big up to you, Andrew. It's been a while. Andrew. Andrew said, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, my big brother.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Andrew. It says, worst Premier League season I've ever seen. Liverpool winning the league in our own turf at Stamford Bridge was would what?
They can still win it before that. Liverpool would need to win the next three. Arsenal would need to, I think it's draw or lose at least one of their next three.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool can win it at Tottenham or at home against Tottenham. I can't remember if they're at home to Tottenham or away to Tottenham, but they'd win it against Tottenham the game before Chelsea if that happens.
Yeah, agreed.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Agreed. But after what we've seen over the weekend, I think this might be a twist in this title race. I think we better start on that because it was a disastrous weekend for the top five, if I to be honest with you. I mean, the Manchester Derby didn't prove that they're lucky, but City dropping those 2 points. It's going to feel like all 3 points dropped after looking at the team news from yesterday. But I've got to be honest with you, the top five did not do well this week. It's been a terrible weekend for top five. Yeah. Liverpool stunned at Fulham, and Everton claiming a point against the Gunners. Whew, what a weekend. And this is your place to be, people, to wrap up match week 31. Make sure you stay with us because we'll be going through everything today, including relegation Southampton, record timing as well. Has it come at the worst time for the Saints? We'll talk about it later, but we're going to start with the title race twist knee. Liverpool dropping points. In fact, all three at Fulham. I was not expecting Fulham 3, Liverpool 2 to be written all over the place. I didn't expect that. Did you, Nee?
No. I wasn't expecting the 3-0 down. I know, they're definitely going to Fulham will put up 3-1 down in the first half. I wasn't expecting it. 4 goals in the first half for a Liverpool team. I don't know what I've really gone through Liverpool since the loss against PSG. They've never get going again. They have been sleeping. They've been down. I don't know what is going on with Arne Slot. Has it been found out? Or are they tired? Or do they feel like, okay, we've won the Premier League, so I mean we should be on the beach right now. We're tired. We're ready for another season. Let's get everything out of the way. And I predicted that. I said, look, this is going to be the prediction for Liverpool after exiting the Champions League. Lost to Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup, right? They lost to Newcastle United, and also lost to PSG in the Champions League. This is how it's going to be. Salah won't win the Ballon d'Or. He doesn't have the chance to win the Ballon d'Or anymore. It's all done. His levels are going to drop a bit. Liverpool will definitely for sure win the Premier League, but then they will be dropping some points. Their heads are going to be dropping. There's no more. It's going to be aspirations anymore because they're miles away from everyone in the Premier League. The Premier League, those are the teams that are supposed to challenge likes of Arsenal, the likes of Chelsea, and like say Newcastle, Manchester City are all falling down. So it makes it a bit easy in the Premier League for Liverpool to just go on within a few games, 7 games to go. Gone in the days 10 years ago, or maybe I'll say 15 years ago, you can't determine who wins the Premier League even with 2 games to go or 3 games to go. You cannot determine it. But now 7 games to go, we can all tell Liverpool can win it. That's how bad the Premier League have gotten.
But if you look at the table, they're 11 points behind. Arsenal are 11 points behind Liverpool. But if Liverpool slip up at any 1 point within the next 2 or 3 games, this title race is back on. It's back on. And yes, but if Arsenal slip up and Liverpool don't slip up, title race is going to be over. So this is now or never. But in terms of what's going to happen now, I mean, top 4 is going to go join the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
But Liverpool, Arsenal going to feel like they got Champions League football next season. Now they need to go on and show why they're Champions League team next season.
Steven, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened in the Liverpool game. I was watching the Chelsea game. But one thing for sure is, I mean, you look at Liverpool's next 3 games, I think it's West Ham, Leicester, and Tottenham, I think, are their next 3 games.
Yep.
Can't see them dropping points to West Ham. Can't see them dropping points to Leicester. Well, certainly not to Leicester. And certainly can't see them dropping points to Tottenham. The Fulham one, it was a bit of a shock to an extent. Like, maybe they'd drop a point, but to drop all 3, drop 2 points, like they'd draw, get a point maybe. But to lose all 3 points was kind of surprising. But at the same time, title race is done. Like, realistically, I think part of it is due to fatigue. I mean, Liverpool, until a few weeks ago, were still in every competition. So it was very hard for their players to really have much time to recover.
Yeah.
Because at that point, they hadn't been knocked out by Plymouth. They were still in the Champions League. They were still in the Carabao Cup, obviously got to the final, that lost the final. And obviously the Premier League as well. They were still fighting on all fronts. And I think it's just sort of caught up with them. But they'd be thankful that it's caught up with them now rather than, say, 3-4 games earlier than what we're at now. Because if this had happened, I mean, they haven't been great necessarily the last 3-4 games, but they've managed to grind it out. And that's what champions do. We always say it, yeah? To be a champion, you have to be able to grind out these results. And it's one of the things that we've said on the Chelsea side of things, that until recently, Chelsea has struggled grinding out 1-0 results and stuff. But that's what Liverpool have been able to do. That's what Arsenal have been able to do. And that's why they're the 2 teams at the top of the league, because they can grind out these results when it gets difficult. Reality is, they're 11 points clear, 21 points to play. So they need 3 wins and Arsenal to draw or lose 1 game, and then the title's done before they even play Chelsea. So bring on the Arsenal slip-up. Arsenal have got Brentford on the weekend, I believe. And I believe it's also at Brentford, I think. Either way, it won't be an easy one. I'm just double-checking this now. So Liverpool have West Ham at Anfield. Arsenal are at home on Saturday night to Brentford. The Liverpool game's a Sunday. It's the same kickoff time, 2 p.m. UK, as Chelsea Ipswich. The following week, you have Leicester versus Liverpool on the Sunday and Ipswich versus Arsenal on the Sunday. And then after that, you've got Arsenal versus Palace midweek, because that's going to be, I presume, a game in hand to some extent. I'm not certain why that's on a Wednesday night. And then you've also got that weekend, I believe, is Liverpool-Tottenham, yeah.
So you're going through Liverpool's fixtures, right? That's
both of them, Liverpool and Arsenal. So Liverpool, as I said before,
I have only Liverpool on my screen at this moment.
Liverpool have West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham.
Let me get it on the screen.
Arsenal have. I'm trying to find it again. Arsenal have Brentford at home. Then they have Ipswich away, and then they've got Palace at home.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a table. I mean, just looking at those 3 fixtures, like, yes, Arsenal at home to Brentford, Arsenal at home to Palace, but especially Palace, that won't be an easy game. Brentford, you don't know what you're getting at the moment with them. 1 week they're on it, 1 week they're not. So there's points to be dropped here in the next 3 games for Arsenal, which benefits Chelsea, because if Liverpool wrapped up the league by the time they play Chelsea, Chelsea can pick up 3 points at the bridge against Liverpool with, I think that would be 3 games to go. Yeah. So that could be massive implications on Chelsea's part if the league title gets wrapped up before that game. Even if it doesn't, I mean, you look at Liverpool at the moment, they're kind of staggering towards the finish line at this point. So whether the title's wrapped up by that point or not, who knows? I'd lean towards it probably is, based on the fixtures that are coming up for both teams. The other thing I'll point at is, look, like I said, Liverpool are staggering towards the finish line. So whether it's wrapped up or not, Chelsea can still get the 3 points there based on Liverpool's performances recently. I don't think Arsenal have a hope. I think majority of Arsenal fans have accepted that. I mean, you need Liverpool to drop a whole lot of points. You need Liverpool to lose 3-4 games, and you need to win every single game. And they have to play each other. I think it's the week after Chelsea play Liverpool. So I think Liverpool have Tottenham, then the next week is Chelsea, and then the next week is Arsenal. So no matter what,
like, comment, and subscribe.
it's not done in the Chelsea game, then Liverpool wrap it up against Arsenal. That's the bottom line.
I mean, looking at these fixtures that we have, Liverpool West Ham is a must win, not a must, but it's a winnable game for Liverpool. Leicester City, who will be relegated, also. I mean, they cannot put up a fight against Liverpool. It's a winnable game for Liverpool. Liverpool will sit home and play Spurs. Definitely, it's a winnable game for Liverpool. It's a 3 point for Liverpool. So all 3 games that I just mentioned, they're all winnable. That's 9 points there for Liverpool. And also looking at the one that Liverpool can struggle here will be Chelsea sitting at Stamford Bridge, hosting Liverpool, probably 8 p.m. in the evening. I'm sure that's going to be
I can tell you. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Steve will confirm that time. I'll let Riley come in here in a second.
The Liverpool game is 4:30 on the 4th of May.
Okay, 4, so a little bit earlier than I thought. All right, so that will be very, very early in the morning for me.
That's about 11:30 your time.
Yeah.
I don't think we can beat Liverpool. There's no way we can beat Liverpool with the way Arnold Slott's managing. Fortunately,
Fulham beat Liverpool. Chelsea are very good with the likes of Nicholas Jackson in there.
Chelsea's home form is the key thing for me.
Look at home form, and then look our last game versus Liverpool. We don't want to have a repeat of what happened, but
that was just BS though, because they got a penalty despite it hitting their player's arm and dropping kindly to him, and then they've stamped on our player's foot and we didn't get one. So if that balances out the way it should, then Chelsea gets something from that game.
Those decisions comes down from the PTMOL. I don't know. The standards of refereeing have dropped everywhere. I want to see a restructure these with stricter regulations, or we could potentially face more fraudsters when we play Liverpool, and that could actually knock on effects the way we're playing fighting for Champions League football next season. This is the thing, really. These PTMOL idiots over the weekend. Come on, seriously. Like, quite frankly, ending the game early versus Arsenal for Everton. Arsenal giving away a free kick right at the end. Referee stopping the game early on. This is the
They did end up playing that free kick, I think.
But they had this referee. But the bottom line is the referee stopped play early on. If it didn't get to 4 minutes, not even 8 seconds.
No, I think they did end up playing out those final few seconds.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they should have blown early.
But guys, so if we look at
they're going to make mistakes or be corrupt. It happens all the time. I mean, realistically, you look at the first fixtures back after international break, You had the Everton-Liverpool game where Tarkowski should have been sent off. Whether it was intentional, accidental, I'm not getting into that debate. I'm saying it's accidental. It's a follow-through. It is what it is, but it is a leg breaker, Yeah. That should have been a red. Arguably, the one on Caicedo when Tottenham went on to score should have been a red because it's knee-high as well. Right? Arguably, earlier in the season, where I think it was Lisandro Martinez does Palmer in the knee, that should have been a red. There's so much inconsistency, and we bang on about it week in, week out, because there's always talking points because these officials do not know how to do their jobs correctly and efficiently, right?
Yeah.
How many times we got to sit here and people can say, I want VAR gone, right? Let's outline it. What is VAR, right? VAR is the actual technology is the cameras, right? They're the cameras that give you the angles so you can see the decisions, right? And then you can re-referee, if you would, those decisions overturn it or keep the original decision based on what you see. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's not the issue is that's not the issue because it's cameras, right? The issue, and this is why I'll never say I want VAR out, right? It's the people who are using said system. It's the people who are watching those replays and coming to the wrong decisions, whether that's through honest human error, which the amount of absolutely disastrous decisions they come to makes me question corruption, yeah? Because I don't know how you can look at the Tarkowski one and go, oh, yeah, that's fine. Carry on. It's not a red card. I don't know how you can come to that decision. It makes no sense to me. That's not human error in my mind. There's something shady going on there, right?
I was gutted when I saw that tackle, and they gave the yellow card.
Oh, neat. Back to back days, you had that, and then you had Gordon on Caicedo. It's mental.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is why VAR are a shambles to this game. If they do not improve it, VAR's got to go. It's destroying the game. This is what I'm saying,
Riley. VAR itself isn't the issue because that's the cameras. It's the people who are using that to essentially re-referee the game that's the issue because they're looking at it and they're coming to the wrong decision. The actual system itself is more the cameras and the angles that they get, right? So that isn't the issue because the cameras aren't the ones making the decision. Because even on offsides, okay, in a week or two, we're getting semi-automated offside, right? Mm-hmm. With that, there is no technology in the ball. So they will still have to, the actual referees in the VAR room will have to decide the kick point of the ball, which is another error they made in the Chelsea game against Tottenham because the ball had already been kicked in the frame that they chose to use, yeah? I'm not getting into that game. There were so many dodgy things that happened just on that one offside decision, never mind the foul, yeah? My point being, essentially, right, is that with that, it's still down to human because they got to pick the exact point that the ball's kicked and then the system, the semi-automated offside system, will come up with the image of the player, whether they're onside or offside at that point, and then the referees in the VAR room have to press confirm, like, this image is correct, confirm. This is what it is. And then they'll relay, okay, it's offside, it's onside, keep your decision, change your decision, whatever it is, right? So even that is on them because we've got to trust them to look at an image and go, yeah, that's correct. I'm not going to do any shady stuff and move the lines, right? I don't know what we could really do. I mean, get referees from... One thing I suggested, we've had this conversation about VAR so many times and we've had debates about it. One thing I've suggested, right? Get referees from outside of England, right? And scrap that. Every league should have officials who can speak the language for obvious reasons, right? But, and this is the key point, are not of that nationality. Because if you get an English official who lives and grew up in England, right, they're going to have a favourite team. And we all know they lie on these sheets. Every year they got to write out on a form who they support, who they got allegiance to and all this, yeah? You're telling me all the people from Manchester support teams like, I don't know, Stockport, Salford, all these teams, yeah? No way. Never. Yeah? You're telling me I'm supposed to believe they all support like League One, League Two teams and National League teams? No chance. So by getting people from other countries, they may have a team they watched growing up, but they don't necessarily have the allegiance to them as somebody from that area. Me, for example, grown up as a Chelsea fan, right? So naturally... If I went by the way it seems like the actual Premier League officials do, where they actually lie on their sheet about their allegiance, I wouldn't put Chelsea. I'd put my local team. Now, my local team doesn't have any conflict with Premier League teams. So if I then had a game that impacts Chelsea, I could literally give a BS decision for no reason. And it could mess things up. That's what you avoid by getting outside refs from Germany, Italy, Spain, France, all that. And the same with them getting English refs. Not that I'm sure. I mean, Spain said they want English refs, didn't they, recently?
Smash the like button.
So you're welcome, John, mate. Just give us a couple of yours in return.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen G. That's Stephen G. For you, he is more concerned about bringing in a neutral referee from outside the Premier League to officiate our game. I mean, referee officiating, the man in the middle could be good, but those out there could be. I know that some of them, I know they've had other people coming into the VAR room. I think one of the games there were officials where they were coming from outside the UK. But like Steven said, the machine is there, but it's human interpretation to look into it and make sure they get the visions right. So yeah, the what do they call it? What, Steven?
Semi-automated offside. It comes in game week 32.
Yeah,
so I think that's next weekend, not the one coming, the one after.
Yeah.
Actually,
all right.
No, it is this weekend. It's this weekend coming. Because I think we just had match week 31, which means it comes in this weekend. So when Chelsea play Ipswich, they'll be semi-automated offside. Hallelujah, you told us it'd be October. Then you told us November. Then you told us before the new year. And finally, we're in game week 32, and it's finally here. About, 27 match weeks too late?
Yeah, because I know it will be introduced before the league come to an end. But
yeah, it's match week 32, which is this weekend coming up.
Yeah. Guys, if you're watching this live, we're taking you guys through the weekend games that took place. Also, that is week 31 that came to an end. There was a few results. Pretty much top 5 teams did not record. None of them recorded any win. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. There was a very, very awful Manchester derby between Manchester City and then Manchester United. United was a better team.
I'm so glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I did watch it. Manchester United was a better team compared to the title holders, which is Manchester and City. Very, very awful.
They had a really good chance and he messed it up.
Yeah, he did. There were so many chances. United created more chances than City. City were just playing sideways. We'll come to that here in a bit. But we've gone through Liverpool's upcoming games. And I said the game against Chelsea, the game against Liverpool, their game against Brighton are going to be very, very tough. Then they'll play Crystal Palace. So there's still a lot of points for Liverpool to drop here. It's not going to be that easy.
The league will be wrapped by that point, Lee.
Yeah, if they win 3 games, which is West Ham, Leicester City, and Spurs, those are winnable for them. If they're able to win all 3 points in those games, yes, they win. The league is over. They can mess around. Mm-hmm. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. We will move on from Liverpool. We'll look at Liverpool and Fulham results. Also, we're moving on from there. We'll look at what's next to look at before.
Do you want to do
relegation?
The European fight, or do you want to do relegation?
Let's do relegation.
Let's do relegation because you know what? It's been a very, very disappointing Sunday for Southampton fans. Relegation confirmed with 7 games to go after losing 3-1 away to Tottenham with a late penalty for Mattis Tell. I'm going to be honest with you, 10 points is a record. If they keep doing like this, if they don't get a single point, this could turn out to be the lowest ever finish to a Premier League season ever. So,
it will be. If they don't get another point, it's the lowest points total, beating Derby from, I think it's 2007, 2008, something like that. Because they hold the record for fewest points in a season, which is 11. So if Southampton don't get 11 to at least match it, they're the sole holders of that record.
All right. We'll get into, like I said, we'll be getting into the relegation of Southampton setting record earlier on. And also in the weekends, Mr. Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish scored a goal after 466 days. Jack Grealish finally scored a goal. But Andrew, thank you very much. Andrew said we need to beat Newcastle United, in my opinion, because they could go above us today.
They can't.
They win versus Leicester City.
They can't go above us. They can go level with us. They can't go above us because Chelsea have the superior goal difference.
Okay.
Chelsea's goal difference, I think, is plus 17, and Newcastle's is plus 10. So Newcastle would have to score 7 or 8 goals to overtake Chelsea, and it only be on goal difference.
Yeah, which is not possible. Robert Taha, big up to you, man. Like Robert Taha in the building. He said hello to Mr. Steve. He says, hope you are well. I wish Chelsea could make it, but I don't think so. Our competitors are all better than us, and their coaches are smarter and experienced. Ipswich, I think we can do it. So thank you very much,
Just
Robert.
quickly on this, knee.
Some
of the teams around us have to play each other. Aston Villa, I think, have to play Man City. I think they also have to play Newcastle. There's a few of them have to play each other, so there will be dropped points there. I'm just trying to re-find that image that I sent you the other day that we used on the stream.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do have to play each other, so I'm not overly concerned at this moment in time. Here it is. So Man City have to play Crystal Palace, Everton at Goodison, by the way. Then they have to play Aston Villa. They also have to play Bournemouth and Fulham later on in the season, their last 2 games. Newcastle have to play Aston Villa, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, and Everton. Newcastle, yeah, I said Brighton. Aston Villa, like I said already, have to still play Newcastle and Man City. So that's 2 games where you could see draws in terms of Man City versus Villa and Newcastle versus Villa. So if there's draws there, then all of a sudden things start to look a lot more favourable for Chelsea, especially given that Chelsea have Ipswich at home, Fulham away. That could be tricky. You don't really know, but if everyone's 100% fit, we know what Chelsea can do on their day 100% fit. So I'm not concerned at this time. Everton at the Bridge, Liverpool at the Bridge, Newcastle away, Man United at the Bridge, and Forest final day away. I think Chelsea have more of a chance than the teams around them, not even being biased, because out of the teams around us, the only ones we have to play are Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. Whereas the others have got to play like 2 or 3 of the teams that are competing for Europe. So it kind of helps us because they're fighting to take points off each other. And like I said, Forest game isn't until the last game of the season. So we could know where Chelsea, Forest, Man City, and all those teams are in the end. So that would basically put the picture in. But I just wanted to reply to that quickly from that comment, just sort of outline things about competitors. But yeah, relegation picture, it's over for everyone there now. Southampton's official. Leicester have the game in hand, which is tonight against Newcastle. Isak apparently hasn't travelled for the game against Leicester. So Newcastle could be without their big man up top. Doubt it changes much. Still see a Leicester defeat. A defeat for Leicester means that there'd be 21 points available for them, which means they can only get up to 38 points. They will not get that because that requires Wolves to basically lose every game except from 1. Wolves can afford to win 1, basically. Otherwise, Leicester are down if they win more than 1. Wolves win more than 1, I should say. Ipswich, they're 12 points behind Wolves. They're 15 points behind West Ham. 21 points available. Ipswich are done. It's time to start looking at how they're going to do their business in the summer. For me, is what I'm looking at. How many of those players are staying? How many of them are putting themselves in the window in the final weeks to get a move to stay in the Premier League? Obviously, the big one, Liam Delap. Is he staying? Oh, is he staying? Is he going to Chelsea? Man United are rumoured to be interested. I don't see that happening because for reasons I keep stating about strikers, how you go break even or make profit on Højlund or Xerxes to be able to bring someone in. Arsenal might be interested in Delap. And I think there was one other team, I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's like 2 or 3 teams that are interested in Delap that are looking at getting Champions League football. Man City have a buyback clause, I believe. But if you're Delap, you're not agreeing to that. Why you go there to be back up to Haaland and then third choice behind Mamouche? You're not going to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. But that's what I'm looking at with Ipswich now is how are they going to go about their business because they're down now? Like, you've got to start preparing for the Championship. You're 12 points behind with 21 available. You can't afford for Wolves to win more than one game, really. Maybe two at a push. Actually, no. Because, when I say 21, yeah, they can afford Wolves to win 2 games, but no more than 2 games. Otherwise, they're relegated. So all those 3, let's be honest, one's officially down and has been officially down since about Christmas. The other 2 still had a chance, but that chance is now finished, gone, over. You're relegated. You might not be officially relegated, but it's an inevitability at this point.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Guys, if you're watching this live, the topic we're discussing right now was we look at the Liverpool performance over the weekend, and then some other performance from the Manchester Derby. We'll get into details of the Manchester Derby, but we are looking at the the relegation team. Southampton have been relegated with 7 games to go. So I mean, they've set record. The fastest team to get relegated in the Premier League history.
Premier League record. They got relegated at the earliest time of any team ever in Premier League history.
And the question I was going to ask you guys, which Tyler or Stephen, if you can come in, it's Russell Martin the guy to be blamed, or is it the Southampton hierarchy or the owners
who came in to replace him and all that, right?
Yeah. Who is to be blamed? Because this, before you come in, let me build this point up. Russell Martin here on the screen is a guy that plays that exciting football, and he did whatever he can to promote Southampton from the Championship with ease, from Championship to the Premier League. But I think that the thing that they did not replace, they had an experienced player called Shea Adams. Shea Adams played almost about, I would say, 70% of the games, and help them with his experience from Premier League when they got relegated to the Championship, helped them. Then when they lost Shea Adams before promoting to the Premier League, they did not replace Shea Adams with an experienced player that will help these young players be able to play the kind of football that Russell Martin have guided them or galvanized them to play in the Championship before getting promotion. So did they take too, when they realized that wasn't going well after 15 games, should they have sacked Russell Martin?
They sacked him at 16 games in the Premier League.
What I was trying to say is, at 15 games, before 15 games, should they have waited that long to sack Russell Martin, or they should have sacked him earlier? Is it the manager, or is it the players or the owners at fault?
I don't know the ins and outs of what their financial situation was.
Well,
so it might have been hard for them to invest. But at that point, if I'm Southampton, I'm going to say, look, you might want to leave, but I need to think about my club and all this, right? And if you stay, you can help us survive, and then you can get a move like in a year's time, right? That's sort of how I look at it. If they had really bad financial issues, which I'm presuming they did. I don't remember them doing many deals compared to, say, Ipswich, for example, who I said at the start of the season, I like the majority of the business Ipswich did, because even if they go down, a lot of those players will stay with them and get them back up, right? Southampton, I can't remember much of note of what they did, to be honest with you. So I wonder if there was some financial issues. If not, then the ownership obviously didn't invest enough in that team to put the manager, Russell Martin, or the manager that came in December, obviously, Jacek, or however you say his name, the Croatian guy that's just left. He came in about 16th, 17th of December, right?
Yeah.
So the way I'm looking at it, in neither window can I remember any sort of deals other than obviously Leslie going there on loan because the Chelsea link, so I remember that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I cannot sit here today and say to you, oh, yeah, I remember this deal they done. I thought it'd be a good deal. I thought it'd be a bad deal, this, that, and the other, right? Whereas I can do that with Ipswich. I can't necessarily do it with Leicester, but Ipswich I can. Southampton I can't do that with. So I'd say there's definitely an element that will obviously be on the manager, and there's an element of, well, did you back him? No, of course you didn't. Why would you do such a thing?
His name is Ivan Juric. Ivan Juric.
Sure, just something like that.
Yeah, Ivan. But anyway, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see if I can get their deals from the last.
All right. What do you think, Tyler? Is it going to be?
Just quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
So they got that Mateus Fernandez guy from Sporting for about 12.5 million. They got Ramsdale for about 17 million. They signed Cameron Archer for about 14 million. Some young guy from West Ham for about 14 million.
Mm-hmm.
A guy from Alkmaar for about 5 million. I remember them signing Ronnie Edwards, actually, and Harwood Bellis. But outside of that, like, you haven't spread the money well. Like, you look at it this way, right? Mateus Fernandez is a midfielder. You spent 12.4 million on, which I'm pretty sure was highly rated. Ramsdale is a goalkeeper who has a reputation for being at clubs that got relegated. This is the third club he's got relegated. He done Bournemouth, Sheffield United, and now he's done Southampton. I'm not saying this on him. Yeah?
Yeah.
They bought Cameron Archer in, another 14.6 million. Leslie on loan. They bought Maxwell Cornet in on loan from West Ham. They bought Flynn Downs in, who I want to say is another midfielder. Yeah, he's a midfielder / defensive midfielder for, I mean, again, 14.8 million. Never really heard of him. Ronnie Edwards was from Peterborough, which I think are League One, but he's like really highly rated. A lot of the clubs wanted him, but I think they then loaned him out. Harwood Bellis, 19.1 million. Like, they've spent a lot on specific players. So actually looking at it now, they did have money to spend. It's more of, could you use that money better, is sort of how I look at it.
With some experienced players in the league.
They bought some experience to an extent, but 15 million on Cameron Archer, you could have gone and got someone else for that. That would have improved you and would have given you at least a better points tallied on what you've got, and maybe given you a fighting chance.
Where was Cameron Archer coming from? Premier League side?
Aston Villa.
Villa.
Because remember, there was the clause, he was at Sheffield United, and then there was a clause that if Sheffield United got relegated, then Aston Villa had to buy him back. And then Aston Villa obviously had to do that clause, and then they immediately sold him for nearly 15 million to Southampton within days, literally. But then they went and bought Ben Brereton Diaz in as well in the same window, who's another striker. So they spent basically 22 million on Cameron Archer and Ben Brereton Diaz combined. You could have got one very good striker to come in, for that amount of money. Genuinely. And then you've got one good player that instantly helps you. Okay, I get the argument of invest around the team. And I'm all for that. But at the same time, if you're trusting someone like Ben Brereton Diaz, who, if I remember right, he's not really ever done it in the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League, but he's never really been that guy. Yeah? And then Cameron Archer, that guy's reputation isn't very good when it comes to goal scoring. You could have got a guy who bangs in goals for fun for that price and then used that other money to spread it around. You may have been able to get a better guy for 15 million. So it's a little bit more than what you paid for Cameron Archer. Who knows? But some of the deals I really don't like now that I'm looking at them in like hindsight, looking at them now and what prices they paid. I don't like the deals they've done. I think they could have spent the money better.
Okay.
You might have had a chance at survival that way, Nee. It's true though. If you have a proper striker, you're winning more than 2 games, even if you're Southampton.
Yeah, even the same thing with Chelsea. If you have a good striker, we would have been challenging for the title by now. If we have,
if Chelsea had, if Chelsea had, say, a Bastoni as a centre back, a Diogo Costa, as you know, I always say this,
A
a
goalkeeper,
Victor Gyökeres, yeah,
which
and
I
then
don't
obviously
think
you've
is
already got Caicedo, Enzo, Santos as well, yeah. You've got the spine of your team, and that's a good quality spine of a team.
right.
Then you just need your fullbacks, which Chelsea have. Cucurella, quality fullback now. He's proven his worth now. Reece James or Gusto on the right, preferably Reece if he's fit. Your
Okay.
wingers, I mean, I don't mind Neto personally. I think he could do better, but I don't mind him compared to Sancho, for example, or Noni frustrates me at times, right? But if you have that spine of the team sorted, yeah, of you have two good centre backs, you have a good goalkeeper, you've got a good striker, like your midfield solid, yeah?
Yeah.
You can fight for titles and stuff because you need 2-3 players to be around that. Like, it's not difficult. Chelsea need like 3 players, 4 players max for that spine of that team. And they can literally go and win things. It's not difficult. And this is why I get so annoyed me, because I've said this so many times about what we could do and we don't do it. And people wonder why we get frustrated because it's so simple. Also, shout out Liam Rossini, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Where is my man? Where did he go to? Tyler.
Here, still here.
Yeah.
And
I thought you had to run and do something.
I'm going to say this now. Team like Southampton shouldn't be like this. If they are in poor form, they're not going to get anywhere. This is the problem with the financial things. You've got to target an area where you need to improve on. I don't think Southampton have done that in the January transfer window. Now they got the summer after the season to get on with it. Whatever they do, they cannot slip up at any cost whatsoever. I mean, quite frankly, to be honest with you, whoever's fault it is, it's going to go down into, well, who's at fault for not getting the players they deserve or get in the biggest, basically what they're going to be talking about. The problem is the fact that between the managers and the chairman of Southampton, I think the problem here has to come from the manager because he has got to focus on the players that are fit or they're not going to be able to play because of injury. I mean, Southampton struggled this season and they had relegation. So I think the manager's at fault for what he's done here. But let's look at Liam Bosnia. I mean,
just quickly need to add on to it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna add something to what he just says.
Yeah, I just want to add one other thing. Southampton to me are one of those clubs that I look at a bit like a Burnley, so to speak, right? Where they're very much your traditional yo-yo club between Premier League and Southampton. Flipping, I've got Southampton on the brain. Between Premier League and Championship, right? Where they can't necessarily invest, right? Some of them can and they don't, and some of them can't. So obviously, it's literally impossible, right? But they're that bit too good for the Championship, but they're not quite good enough to survive in the Premier League. So 1 or 2 seasons in a Prem, then they're relegated. 1 season in the Championship, they're straight back up. And then it's a constant cycle, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those teams. Like I said, it's a bit like a Burnley. And that's a prime example. Or Sheffield United. It's always these teams.
Would you say that the way Southampton have done their business in the over the years when they were in the Premier League by nurturing young players and selling them to the big top teams, which they do that every year, the same thing is what Brighton is doing now? Do you think that time will come that Brighton is going to go through the same kind of predicament that Southampton are going through now by nurturing, bringing top players and selling them? Because I remember Shea Adams is one of them. Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk is also one of them, and so many top players that they've sold them out to the big 5 teams or top teams in the Premier League. And now it's not all the time that you will be able to find the those monies and the next big name. It's not all the time. But when you keep selling them, it will definitely catch up on you. And also, I was going to add this to what Tyler just said regarding the manager's fault. This is what I'm going to say about it. When you have a certain pattern of play, a certain style of play that is more entertaining, more possession based, you are winning games. Maybe the level of competition in the championship, definitely cannot compare the championship style of play or the level to the Premier League. So when you come to the Premier League, the first 5-6 games, you realize that your style is now working. As a manager, if it's not that stubborn, you could have changed his style of play and adapt to be able to keep the team going, drawing certain games and winning narrow games. And there are teams that you can beat. Teams like Leicester City, you could beat them because you beat them in the championship, or maybe you drew to them. You played them before, so you know how they play. Teams like Brighton, you can go toe-to-toe with them because you've been in the Premier League before. You've got gain experience. Teams like Ipswich, you could beat them and gain 3 points. But these teams struggle each and every week, midweek, weekend. Russell Martin, or whatever his name is, playing the same style of football, trying to get or survive. And he stick to his old ways, never change. And he would never ever change if he hadn't been sacked, Stephen. And the one that came in, I think there was a wrong Ivan was Jurovic or whatever. Jurisic, whatever. Ivan was also not the right fit for the team because he did not help them at all. Because Russell Martin was been sacked at game 15, right? 15 games to go.
No. He wasn't sacked with 15 to go. He was sacked after 16 Premier League games. He was sacked about the 17th of December was his last game, I think.
15 games in was when
the guy that came in, Ivan, had 22 Premier League games.
So it could have kept them in the league if he was that good. Ivan was a bad manager. Still, they did it wrong. First beginning half of the season, I was a Russell Martin run them down. Then the owners also went on and appointed the wrong manager that could not help the team in the second place. So manager at fault and the owners at fault. Steven, you can go ahead and add your three.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think there's definitely a recruitment issue there. But the one thing I would counter you with about when it comes to the recruitment and then the selling players and the Brighton go end up like that, I don't think Brighton will, right? The other thing I would say is when it comes to Southampton, it's taken them a long time to catch up on them, like since they've sold like their Mane, Van Dijk deals and all that, right? So what I'd say to that is the amount of money they got for those players, right?
Yeah.
They could have legitimately invested in top players and become at minimum a mid-table Premier League club, right? Arguably, that's what they could have done. Also, to counter this further, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Brighton do like the young players and finding the next guy, as Chelsea know. Chelsea bought Caicedo from them, but to my research, Chelsea were interested in Caicedo before he even went to Brighton in the first place, right? So Chelsea scouts and stuff were aware of him before he went to Brighton, yeah? But my point is, Brighton, even after Chelsea sold, they would get a young guy in and stuff like that, right? But this past summer, I think it was the summer, yeah? Or it was this season as a whole. Mm-hmm. Brighton spent more than any other Premier League team, I believe.
They did.
So they spend a lot on young players. They've then gone, okay, to be fair, I think it was this when they were in Europe, and they've gone, okay, now we need to change.
It was last summer. They spent more than anyone.
It was the one just gone, yeah. It was this season's summer, 2024-25.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So I'm pretty sure they were in Europe this year. I think it was this year, or it was last, and it sort of clicked to them of, okay, now we need to invest less, so to an extent in the younger upcoming players, but still have a percentage of that. But we also need to move our model slightly, so we're getting other kinds of players and stuff like that. I think to spend that much money, you look at some of the players they got in, like they're going to be established players that are coming in.
They got Believer, and they loan and
Believer.
Believer or Bolivia or whatever his name is, and they haven't seen you. They haven't seen you. Who I thought it was going to be the next maybe what they call it, one of the top players coming from their team, and they loan him out. Insisto's no more with them anymore. Insisto, that guy that scored that goal against Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Paraguayan or something, right?
Yeah, very powerful goal. But did you guys see the Mason Greenwood goal over the weekend? What a goal!
No.
What a goal! Woo.
No, I didn't.
I know what you got. Go ahead. Right.
No, I did not.
You did not. Okay. If you see, I know Steven has this issue with Greenwood. I understand, but I'm looking at the player perspective as a player, not his character or whatever he's done off the field. But that goal,
we're standing on him as a player. As a player, I think he's good. I just don't want him anywhere near our club for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I know those reasons. But I'm looking.
I'm not saying. I'm saying as a player, don't get me wrong, talented. I just don't want him near my country or my club. But as a player, he is talented. Don't get me wrong. I will always say that.
Put all things aside. Mason Greenwood, Jonathan David. Which one would you go for, Steven? Rally. Mason Greenwood, Jonathan David. Which of these two players would you go for?
The second one.
Who's the second
one?
Who?
Yeah.
Who? Jonathan David?
Yep.
Why?
What about Jonathan David?
Yeah, I'm asking Rally. Mason Greenwood, Jonathan David. Which one would he go for?
Jonathan David.
Have you watched him before?
No.
I
can't be bothered to do so nowadays.
No,
I
you
gotta
don't
be
have
honest
to.
with you. I gotta be honest with you, D. I couldn't be bothered to do that nowadays because I'm more focused on what's happening back at home. But D.
The question is too big. Give me a thumb up, thumb down. So I know how to manipulate and push it down. So I wouldn't keep pushing the question on you. Because I know some of the questions are a bit too big for you. I'm trying to push you there, Tyler. I want to
down on every question. Sorry, D.
Yeah, I want to broaden your your sports knowledge. I want to get it bigger. You're too you're limiting yourself. You're too smart for it. You're too smart for that. Okay, you're limiting yourself, Tyler. Okay, get away a little bit away from Chelsea and look at some of the bigger picture, and then you can get more ideas.
You know my stance on David.
One day we're going to do it one day, but
Yeah.
what would this weekend's past Premier League result mean for European qualification? Tonight, Leicester take on Newcastle in the running. Newcastle, if they win, are going to be in what could be the top 5 after City draw. I mean, lads, this could potentially be one of the greatest races for Europe I have ever seen, ever. Let's start off with 2nd to 5th. Gotta be honest with you, where has the top 5 gone on at the weekend for the race for Europe, particularly places 2 to 5? Where do you think they went on this weekend? Does other result could implicate the European race a bit chaotic as we head towards the running?
Exactly. Steven, I was saying David and Greenwood. Which one would you take? Put everything aside from. Don't look at Greenwood.
Even taking that stuff aside, and just looking strictly as a player, I'm still going Jonathan David.
You're going David. I'll go for Greenwood.
I like Jonathan David, and the fact that he's available because of he's not extended his contract. I mean, one way to look at it, right? You could go out and you can sign, say, all right, let's take it this way, right? 3 of the players that I've seen us linked to, right?
Gyökeres. It's not going to happen. Delap.
It might happen. It still might happen. Gyökeres, Delap, and I think I saw a link to Isak from someone reliable as well, Nee.
Isak not happening. All right, Rally's here with me with Steven's here. I'm just
just quick, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I saw a reliable link to Isak, but obviously it's dependent on if Newcastle get Champions League football, right?
Yes, sir.
So between him, Gyökeres, and Dalat, right? You could get one of those. You could loan Mark Guy to, say, Strasbourg, for example. Yeah? Or any other club. Actually, not Strasbourg. They got a striker. Loan him to, say, another Premier League club, right? Maybe one of the newly promoted clubs. Yeah, okay. So he gets that first team experience. Then you can buy Jonathan David on a free, yeah, to be a second choice, for example. And then if you want, you could experiment with Jackson out wide, and then you don't need to buy a winger necessarily. You solve two things in one.
All right, so you solve two things in one is what Stephen G is saying. Guys, so if you're joining us live, we are looking through the week, week 31, match week 31 that just ended. The recorded some few results. Liverpool lost to Fulham, and also very, very awful Manchester derby that took place at the I think Old Trafford, right? Was it Old Trafford? Yeah, Old Trafford. It took place at Old Trafford. So whenever you're watching us live, don't forget Needs Zion, Stephen G, and Mr. Rally Tyler is here with me. Yeah. Mr. Tyler is here with me. We're taking you guys through some few nitty-gritty. And also, Southampton have sacked their manager, Ivan Jurevich, or whatever his last name is, has been sacked. Right now, the possibility is they're looking at other options. Maybe they might have a caretaker manager, which will be Adam Lallana. Alan Lallana has been mentioned. Leah Decimo, also manager. The guy in charge of Strasbourg has been mentioned, and I don't think that he is.
Let's be honest, that ain't happening.
Man, he is going to leave his job. If you look at the formation that he plays, 3-2-3-2. Is it Montpellier? That's the formation he played
against Montpellier, and then a 3-2-4-1 against Rennes and Lyon, a 3-1-5-1 against Angers, a 4-3-3 against Lille, a 4-2-3-1 against Marseille, a 3-4-1-2 against Lyon and Nantes.
Holy cow!
3-4-2-1 versus PSG, and ASSE is Saint Etienne, where we got Amugo from. 3-4-3 against Monaco, Brest, which is Michael Richards' favorite team. Rennes.
You mentioned that Michael Richards' favorite team.
Hey, you got it, innit?
This is a man. When you talk about tacticians, this is what we're looking for. Man who doesn't play one formation 3-4 and 3-4-2-1 for the entire season, and just switch back to three in the back for just one game. If it doesn't work for him, then he goes back to his 3-4-2-1 formation. This man doesn't fear nothing. He goes in with a 3 in the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, depending on opposition team that he's playing against.
He's adaptable.
What was that, Steven?
He's adaptable.
Yeah, he's adaptable. He doesn't go the difficult way, boring football, how Premier League has been, where everyone is playing out from the back, or necessarily, if you play in, then you're going to be sapped. You have to play back. Always play to the goalkeeper. That kind of a nonsense thing here. This man is flexible, adaptable, play different formation to make sure it gets his team winning. And it's working very well for him in the championship. He's got a man like Andrew Santos.
Championship.
In the French league, working for him in the French league. Well, obviously, it was coming from the championship, but now in the French league, working for him over there, picking up the points, winning against Monaco, winning against Rennes, and winning against Drew against maybe PSG or whatever. But he's adaptable. But I wouldn't say he's ready for the Chelsea job yet. He's not. He's still got a long way to go.
Give it a couple years.
Give him a couple of years. That's why he's there.
Let him cook at Strasbourg for a few years, and then if he's ready, he can come over to Chelsea.
All right, so yeah, we've discussed the relegation team Southampton right now, as has been mentioned. Ipswich Town position also, we're gonna be assessing their likelihood of joining Southampton following their loss to Wolves. We've already talked about Ipswich. Do you guys think Ipswich can survive? Mr. Raleigh, will they survive?
Um,
Not happening.
Nah, man.
No. All right. Really believe that Ipswich will not survive the Premier League. We're also gonna look.
I'm afraid not with the current results, people. I do not see them surviving any time soon. Top 3 in the Championship last season, going now back to where it all began last season. This is the most important thing about Championship teams. Top 3 go up for the Championship, then go back down to the Championship. There's a common theme going on around here. What is going on?
What's going on?
What's going on here is the fact that the Championship club knows they're a Premier League club, but they've forgot to establish it after promotion.
10 points from Southampton all season. 7 games to go. Already be relegated. Leicester City will follow up. The next thing will be Ipswich. Ipswich, they're way far away from Wolverhampton Wanderers, and you can tell. Let me see the upcoming game.
This result this weekend, just quickly. This weekend, Wolves did play Ipswich, and let's put it this way, right? Going into it, the gap was 9 points, yeah? So that was quite literally what could be called a relegation 6-pointer. If Ipswich won, we're talking about a 6-point gap. Ipswich have a chance. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So alternatively, we're looking at it going, Wolves won, it's a 12-point gap. So they're relegated, they're finished, they're cooked.
All right, thank you. That's what Stephen believe, and from his mathematics, you get a calculation. He believed that Ipswich will make it.
I mean, the easiest way to put it, right?
Yeah,
you're 12 points behind with 21 points to play, and this is what I was explaining when we were talking about all 3 teams earlier, right? 21 behind, no, 21 available, 12 behind. Yeah, they cannot afford for Wolves to get any more than 8 points if they're to stand a chance of catching them. Because of, obviously, you're 12 behind, you add 8 points, that's 20. There's currently 21 available. So your goal difference is that poor. It's not a case of they can get 9 and then you can win every game and catch them. Because your goal difference is that poor that it just wouldn't happen.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephen G. Man like Stephen G. Is taking us through that here. What we have.
I need just quickly.
With. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Stephen.
Do you know what makes this whole image hilarious?
What?
What is it?
Let's just look at something real quick, right? If I load up fixtures on my phone, for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Premier League fixtures. Okay, so we'll ignore the game tonight because that's not relevant to the point I'm making. Where are we then? So Everton have Nottingham Forest. So if Everton do us a favour, they'll leapfrog Tottenham. Yeah. We have West Ham against Liverpool. Hopefully Liverpool win that. Yeah. But if Liverpool do somehow fumble that again and West Ham win, they can leapfrog Tottenham. Wolves play Tottenham. So if Wolves beat Tottenham, they go 2 points behind Tottenham. There's literally a possibility in this season that Tottenham finish 16th or 17th. That is mental. Also, go on Wolves, batter Tottenham on the weekend. As much as I want to be unbiased, I am a Chelsea fan at heart, and I do need to wind up Tottenham fans when I get the opportunity because they done it to us for the last season, 2 seasons. Yeah.
All right, I'll get Rally in when he is.
Big up to our brother in chat, by the way.
Yeah, big up to man like D Prince in the building. Big up to D Prince in the building over there. He said big up to everyone up here. Everyone, big up to everyone. Happy you guys. But to me, how a coach prioritize a Conference League to Champions League qualification? What a terrible decision by Maraska.
That's not what happened. He's saying that he prioritized the Conference League because of his team selection, essentially, yeah? What I would say is to our brother D Prince here, yeah? Explain to me why you think he's prioritizing that. Because I'll say to you now before you come back with that, right? If you're talking about lineup, yeah, people say, I don't want him to start Reece James all the time because of his injuries. I don't want him to get re-injured, yeah? But then people were expecting Nicholas Jackson and Palmer to be okay to start and have the conversation of they should start, but you don't want James to start in case he gets re-injured. So why does the same logic not apply? I'm not saying that's what D Prince's logic is. I'm just saying if your whole argument is Palmer and Jackson not starting, we played on Thursday and then we played on Sunday and they're coming back from injury. It's way too risky to play them from the start, back-to-back games that quickly. If he did that, he'd be doing a Mikel Arteta and risking a serious injury for his players. And also, I get it, yeah? You know CFC Daily on Twitter?
Yeah.
I said to him, cool, so he starts Palmer and Jackson, they get injured, yeah? Then, season's finished, yeah? Season's over. Genius move, yeah? The reply I got back was something like, go big or go home. But my whole point, which I expanded on further to that, was my point isn't as simple as if they get an injury, they're out for the final 7 games of the season. It's if they get a serious injury, we might not see them for 6-7 months, which affects the rest of the season. It affects Club World Cup. It affects the start of next season. So would people rather take that risk, yeah? And when it backfires, those same people who wanted them to start, not all of them, but some of them, would then be saying, oh, Maresca, you're an idiot. Why did you start them? They weren't supposed to start. They're injured, this, that, and the other, right? So he can't win. I'm not saying that's what D Prince is saying, yeah? I'm just saying if your argument is that, then why do all of us have the conversation, don't start Reece James because his injuries, and then on the same hand saying we should start Palmer and Jackson?
All right, Stephen G, thank you very much. Guys, if you're doing Let's Live, we have discussed a series of topics here today. We've discussed the week, match week 31 with some few results that took place. And also we'll be discussing the next on the topic is with the relegation picture, solid fixture for the relegation team. No, we've discussed relegation already. We will be looking at the European qualification battle, which involve Aston Villa. Fulham also secure a victory. Also look at we've discussed that already. Also, we're gonna look at the Manchester derby as we have Scala also joining us in the studio here soon. When the rally is done, Rally also join us here in a minute. Historically, we'll also look at the notable match event of Crystal Palace 9-man victory. Discussing the discussing the fixture went down 2 men and still went on to win the game. History ever made. The Premier League played at his home ground. We say away, right? It was the away.
What was away?
Crystal Palace, but they away. The Palace game. Okay, what our friends did make record sitting away or home, down by 2 men, red card, and still went on and won the game. Courtesy Eddie Nketiah and the others. Also, Brentford versus Crystal.
Palace were at home. Palace were at home.
Palace drew the game at home. And also, Brentford, Chelsea drew. And also, we'll be talking about the struggle, statistically point in between these 2 teams. So, we have Scala in the building with us here. Scala, welcome back to the show.
Nee, you talk about United City game with Skylar because I didn't watch it. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
All right, go get it. We're looking at the London, Manchester derby, not London derby, the Manchester derby between Manchester United and Manchester United and Leicester. Oh God, Manchester United and Manchester City. God help me. D Prince said that, to be honest, the lineup was horrible. I think our remaining games should be done or die. Should be do or die affairs. That is from that is coming from D Prince. Scala, take us through what went wrong with that awful performance in the Manchester derby before we talk about the lap that you guys are interested in. What went wrong?
Yeah, big up. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think it was too much wrong. I mean, obviously the game
You
lacked
guys were better.
quality.
You guys were better than Manchester
Yeah,
United.
we were quite better. I mean, we had so many good chances, and they didn't have lots. I mean, they had some some half chances, but I wouldn't say like they dominated us. Obviously, when you play City, they'll always have more of the ball. But
Yeah.
I mean, the way people like Gary Neville and Roy Keane are talking like as if we were absolutely like it was a dead game. It was not like Arsenal Chelsea, if you remember, like 2 weeks back. That was a rubbish game. That was that. I don't know why I watched that. That game still gives me nightmares. I mean, that was like 90 minutes of my life I'll never get back. But it was not that kind of a game. It was a decent game. You could watch it. Although I do agree, like there was no jeopardy in it. I mean, if City won or United won, it doesn't really does anything to either of our seasons. So I think probably that. But yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't agree with people like Gary Neville calling it like it was a worst game or there is no intensity and all that. I think it was a reasonable watch. But again, I don't take anything what Gary Neville says. I actually I don't like Gary Neville at all. I think he's a bit of a con man. I mean, I have stopped taking this guy seriously ever since. And this is not me making things up. Gary Neville on national TV, he said that in his own words. I'm not making it up. You can see there are many articles on it. He literally said that I will not criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's my mate, and the club should give him more time. So I cannot take people like these seriously, who put their personal friendships over the club's betterment. So I don't really care about Gary Neville what he says. I don't really care about Roy Keane either. I mean, these guys, if you don't pay them money, they won't be really watching the games. I mean, let's be honest. Roy Keane has better things to do than watch United games. He's made so. Do you know his Sky contract is more than his playing contract when he was playing? So let's be honest. These guys, they don't really care about United like us. We do. They are legends of the club, but right now it's just
Stella,
like a TV gig to them. So.
do
Yeah,
you
but the
to
game, I
me?
don't think it was that bad. I won't say enjoyed it, but it was a
Yeah.
decent watch, especially the first half. Second half, you can make a case like it was a, it wasn't a good watch.
Awful, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have the feeling that Roy Keane is overrated in the Premier League because looking at players that plays in that position, if I count 5 players, Roy Keane doesn't come in as a player.
Yeah, but look, Roy Keane has something which no other players have. There is a presence of a captain in him, which you cannot find in any other midfielder. Only he has that, in all of the Premier League. If you ask any other Premier League to pick a captain, especially from a midfielder, I don't think you will look past Roy Keane. So you have to give him that. Look, I'm not going to debate whether he was
Look at his
his playing career. That's his playing career is over. I'm talking as a pundit. The way these guys were almost like yesterday I had like so much criticism against Amarim. I don't mind you criticizing Amarim, but Gary Neville, he's saying he's making one good point that Amarim needs fullbacks. Then he's saying there is no plan with how United play. I mean, look, he's only got one fullback, one transfer since he come in. So how is he supposed to play his brand of football? I am very much against Amarim changing the system. Otherwise, why did you hire him? If you hired Amarim, he's going to play a back 3/back 5 or whatever. Why are you asking him to change the system? Because otherwise, this is Ineos's first appointment. So you should give the manager the tools. I don't want Ineos people getting a break by saying, oh, we'll go to a back 4 and we'll play this flat back 4 and then 4-4-3 or all that stuff. I'm not interested in that. I want to play this back 3. I want the players to be bought in to fit this system. And I want the manager to be back fully because he's only got a 2-year contract. So yeah, I don't completely disagree with people saying he should change the system and all that. I don't support that notion. But yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, the big problem out yesterday. I think this is probably one of the worst Premier League seasons. I mean, look, we are I think like around 1.5 month left of the season, and there is no jeopardy. Liverpool or the league is done. Yeah, you guys are playing for top 4, and Bournemouth, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. You guys are fighting for top 4. I guess that's you can say there is something in there. The relegation is almost confirmed. I saw you discussing about Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich. I don't think anyone is taking those 3 spots away from them. what's the league left to play for? United and Tottenham are rubbish. We got the Europa League to worry about. So there is no interest in the league. So yeah, maybe that could be another reason why yesterday's derby felt a bit flat. So and anyways, I was shocked to see like Man City how from where they were and I literally there was no point in the game when I thought that City are going to score. That never happened in the past 5 seasons when they won the league. So yeah, man, this is what it is with the Manchester derby. Both our clubs are so far ahead of where we should be. Obviously, in different realms, they want to compete for the league again. We can't even. I don't know if you saw the stat. United, even if they win all the next game, they cannot finish higher than 11th because you want all the other teams to drop at least four games, and that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
League is done for us.
Do you agree with Gary Neville? He's made a statement that the trend of football in the English game is destroying English football. Do you agree with him?
Trend of what? Can you repeat?
The trend of football, the style of football, playing out from the back, tiki-taka, is destroying the English game.
Yeah, I do tend to agree with the lower teams. When you're looking at teams like Southampton trying to play tiki-taka and then getting relegated, like Burnley, if you remember, with Vincent Kompany, or teams like that. I think even Norwich tried under what's that Austrian guy, Falk. I think Falker. I think they got relegated as well. So teams like that, they need to play within their means. You cannot ask certain players to play Pep style or whatever, playing out from the back. I think if you are a team below the top, like from 14 to 20, I think your first aim is to not concede goals. I think that's how Tony Pulis kept Stoke City so much, for a long time in the Premier League. It's a difficult day because Stoke City, they are not going to score 4 or 5 goals, but they are not going to concede not more than 2. So I think there is a shift in trend there. People, despite having no means, of quality players, they want to play this attractive style of football. So I think I won't blame Pep and all. I saw someone I think it was Capello. He said that Pep Guardiola has destroyed football. So I don't agree with that. I think Pep Guardiola is doing what he has. He wants to play a certain plan, and Man City are providing with the players to do so. You don't. If you're a Southampton manager, what's your point of playing this cute style of football and getting relegated? You cannot afford that. So I don't know if you saw the Southampton coach interview post match before getting sacked. He said that we are trying to get past Derby County's record. I don't know, it is 11 points or something like that. So they don't become the worst team in the Premier League history. So look, I think it was Raf Hasenhuttl before that. It was Richard Martins. So Southampton. Look, if you're Southampton, even their academy has dried up. At a point they used to produce 5 or 6 good players every season. Now literally nothing. So if you're a small team, you need to first and foremost, in my opinion, you need to be hard to beat. Forget the pretty football.
So United are in for Delap. Where the rumors coming from?
Yeah, I saw it today. It was Mark Ogden reporting that I don't mind if you want to report that United want Delap, but you know what irritated me? He said that United have listed Delap as a priority ahead of Gyökeres, Osimhen, and Sesko. That just means that Delap is cheaper. We got no money for Osimhen and Gyökeres because those guys are going to cost upwards of 50 million.
Yeah.
And I think we can get Delap if Switch gets relegated, probably 30 to 40 million. So that's what I read about that statement. That's what I interpreted from that statement, that we have got no money, so Delap is cheap. So that's who we are going for. So apparently at this moment, because I don't know, I think Chelsea might have other targets. Same goes for Arsenal, and I think Liverpool, they might go for Isaac. So you guys will not be shopping in our end. So I think we might almost have a free hit for Delap, because Tottenham don't need a striker. Chelsea do need a striker, but I think they might need someone better than Delap. Someone.
The Athletic had Chelsea is having 5 to 6 striker targets, including Delap.
Yeah, but I think he will be very low down the list.
I think they had Delap, Sesko, and I'm forgetting the other one. But essentially, I think our target list, dependent on if Newcastle get Champions League or not. If they don't, I think Isak's on it. I think Gyökeres is on it. I think Delap's on it. I think Sesko's on it. I think Jonathan David's on it, mostly because he's got to be a free, but also he does have a pretty good scoring record as well. That's what I think Chelsea's list is, genuinely. If Isak and Newcastle don't get Champions League, he'll be on it.
Well, I think for United, we only got two. I think it is Mateta or Delap at the moment. So
Mateta was linked with you. Oh, bro.
Yeah. He's heavily linked with us. I think somewhere around he's actually on 40 grand or something at Palace, and United, they might go.
He'll take 120, 150 is good.
Yeah, I won't mind Mateta because he's already familiarized with the system at Palace. He plays as a in that striker position. The Palace player back five. So and he's doing well at the moment. He's in form as well. And yeah, he had a very bad injury, but I think he has come from it. So yeah, we are not going to be shopping in the elite market, that's for sure, because we already got 120 million. Yeah, we can't afford anyway because we've got 120 million worth of strikers who don't do anything, like
plus
and Hoylake. So
the other thing to that though is unless you win the Europa League, you're not going to be in Europe. You're going to be mid-table. So it's very hard to attract those level of players to even help you improve to get back up there again.
Right. Big up to you, MOB Mob Boss. I'm sure that's the name. MOB. Big up to you, man. It says salute to you, Blueclouds Media. Big up to you too, my man. I hope you're doing very well. And then we have man like JC watching from a distance. Big up to you, JC. I hope you and the family are doing wonderful. Big up to everyone for joining us on the show today. And also we have JC said, if I had the choice, if I have to choose a quality striker, it's either Isak or Moise Kean.
How you putting Moise Kean in that conversation?
I was gonna say Moise Kean. He's ups and downs.
All the names you could have thought of, JC. Yeah, look, I respect you, yeah, but come on, man. Isak, and then do you understand the drop off from Isak to Moise Kean?
Moise Kean went from
understand how big a drop off. My hands aren't even doing it justice, bro. It's about 4 stories of buildings different.
It's Moise Kean went from Juventus to Everton, couldn't do much in the Premier League. Then he left there to back to Italy again.
He went to Fiorentina, didn't he?
Yeah, he's doing actually quite well at the moment. So
for now, in the Italian league,
he's in the purple patch moment. So maybe.
Do you know who would get him? If anyone would get him, it would be Tottenham. Because remember, guys, Levy said in their financials, basically to protect the club and all that sort of rubbish. Yeah, they can't spend big. Whilst he's also taking 4 million out the club for himself.
Yeah. And we
can't spend big if we want to be sustainable and survive as a club. I'm taking 4 million out for myself.
JC said he had his sack on his eyes before he joined Newcastle, and same with Moise Kean. Interesting. I don't know where he's getting Moise Kean from. Is it recently performance or something that we've seen in the past, JC? Come on, JC.
I don't know what his recent performances are, but I'm still taking Jonathan David ahead of him.
I want consistency. That's my key, key factor in terms of choosing the player and striker.
Gyökeres, Isak, I think the lap can be consistent with better players around him.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
So we're talking about the Manchester derby between Manchester United and Manchester City for performance. Scala United, Manchester United, top fan. A very, very, very fan, great fan of this show. Always joining here discussing some rumors in the Premier League. Manchester United, we've discussed Roy Keane, we've discussed Gary and Neville, who need to leave the punditry and go and continue with his coaching job. He's run away from it because he cannot do his job. And I don't know what his brother is doing right now, Gary Phil Neville. I don't know what he's doing from the women's game. I don't know where he is right now. So,
yeah, you're welcome.
Later. And this man is going to be suspended for 2 weeks. Guys, if you don't see this man over here, he will be suspended. Yeah. He's going to be suspended for 2 weeks. So Stephen and I will vote for it. All right. So welcome back, Tyler. You're live.
Brill.
We're looking like
I had to go down to the shop, guys.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll talk about that later. Scala, anything you want to add to it regarding the Manchester derby? Also, any other link? And what's going on with Mr. Ratcliffe? What's going on with him? The Rats man.
I don't know what's going on with it. I haven't seen any quotes recently from him.
People are saying that he's similar to the Glazers. He's not going to change nothing. He's just a businessman who's going to do business and gain profit, just like the Glazers. He's a similar profile of an owner. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's similar to the Glazers because at least he knows something about football and he at least cares about a bit about the club. But I do agree, end of the day, he's a businessman and he has put $300 million of his own money, apparently, according to him, so that the club doesn't go bankrupt. So he definitely will be wanting some kind of returns from that. But yeah, so far I haven't heard. I don't think he has said anything after the international break. But I don't want him to say anything. I just want whatever team he has put up to do their job because I already told you in the, like many times we are literally broke. We've got at max a budget of 60-70 million without sales, which is nothing in the current scene of market. I mean, I'm sure like Aston Villa, not even Nottingham Forest will have a base budget more than us. So we need to. So we need to, all these people, guys, the CEO, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, they need to, I don't know what these guys are planning, but I think they are heavily reliant on that Europa League money because obviously we are not in the Club World Cup, which would have been nice because we need all kind of sources of revenue. So at the moment, because according to Ratcliffe, the club would have run out of money if he didn't invest $300 million in the December month. So, yeah, we'll see, man. I think we will be making some high-profile sales. I mean, you can expect players like Garnacho to go. I think he will probably be the most high-profile sale because I think he would fetch at least 60 million or maybe 50 to 60, and then we'll try to kick out Rashford as well. And somehow you're trying to scam us with Sancho. I don't know what's going on with there because we need to get rid of him as well. Maybe he can go back to Dortmund. But yeah, we need to reduce the wage bill, man. I think that's a big problem for us. Players like Casemiro, Eriksen, and all these guys, on big money. I don't think Eriksen is on big money, but definitely Casemiro, Rashford, upwards of 250. So
how about Onana? How much does he make?
Yeah, Onana, I think he's like on 150, something like that. So he's not a big problem in terms of wages. But yeah, I don't know if you saw his quotes yesterday. Like he was literally saying, I don't know if you, obviously you might not have watched the Man City game, but the crowd was almost like
I watched
angry with it.
75% of the game. And I
yeah,
knew
because he doesn't release the ball quickly. Like, even if there's a counter attack, he just keeps holding the ball. And yesterday the crowd got fed up with it. And they were like literally booing him a couple of times. And today he came out and said that I don't care if the crowd is booing me. I'll keep on doing what I want to do. So also with Onana, I don't think he has any kind of chemistry with our defenders. Anytime I see like, I don't know, he looks like a completely different individual. When De Gea was there, he had a very good reputation, like a rapport with all our defenders. But I don't know, Onana, he seemed to be like a bit of a, as I talked and reference Gary Neville, bit of a con man, he's a bit like, looks busy but does nothing, kind of a goalkeeper.
I did ask Steven a question earlier on. Would you, are you sure? Have you watched Jonathan David very well on Scala? And if you have, Jonathan David, Mason Greenwood, which one would you take as a striker?
I don't rate Jonathan David at all. I think he's at best like a striker, like a mid-table Premier League striker. That's very generous. I don't think he's that good. I think he's a decent. He just reminds me like an Eddie Nketiah kind of a player. I don't really rate him. So Mason Greenwood, I think I don't know what's happening at Marseille because he's got 15 GA this season. And that's not good enough for them.
Banga yesterday. What a goal.
Yeah, and apparently that's not good enough for him, or good enough for that club. They want to sell him. I don't know what they expect. Like, do they have
Need-
so much high standard? I mean, I don't think they're like fifth or sixth in the league. I mean, PSG have already won it. So what do they expect?
All right, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, just quick on the thing about booing Onana and that, yeah. Oh, bro, you're late to the party. Chelsea have been doing this with Sanchez multiple times from even early in the season. He'll slow down counters. We'll pass it back to him for no reason. He'll do a stupid pass to the opposition, and he gets booed by our fans just because we've had enough of him. So United fans, if they only just started doing it now, they're late to the party. We've been doing this for months.
Yeah, but Sanchez, he has been a calamity more than Onana this season. I mean, I watched that Arsenal game, and every time he got the ball, I don't know. Even I'm not a Chelsea fan, but that was anxiety to me as well. He's a rubbish man with the ball.
Tal, I'll let you in when you're less busy. I was going to ask you a question, but you got your hands full again. I'll get you in here in a second. Don't worry.
Skylar, what game was you on about? I didn't hear you.
I'm talking about the Arsenal Chelsea game where he almost cost you like 2 goals by playing out from the back.
Yeah, this is a regular occurrence with Sanchez. Bro, yesterday, I think it was within the first 10 minutes, he pinged the ball straight to Brentford that started a counter-attack. I'm not even joking.
Mm-hmm.
And he nearly done it later on in the game once or twice as well. He nearly done it about 3-4 times in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get through a few of the comments from JC. JC said, I thought United were good. That was a proper street smart football. Usually the kind of the kind that you see in European competition. JC said, but to be fair, I only saw 30 minutes of the game and United were much better, which I do agree with JC. If United had a player like good old Rashford instead of Garnacho in that derby, they would have smashed Manchester City. That's how JC saw it. You guys need to get rid of Garnacho and Højlund. They're just useless, according to JC. He didn't add useless to it. I add that one. Of course. I do think even in Nkunku could be good for Manchester United. Is disinterested at Chelsea. He is not a bad player. I think he's not a bad player. He can be a bad player overnight. We saw the instincts in a good how he was last season under Mauricio Pochettino. But I don't think that he wants to be part of the future. So in that case, he's not going to give 100% performance because he doesn't want us to think like, oh, okay, we have your plans for the future. He wants us to say, you're not good enough, we can let you go. Make it easy for him to leave the football club. Just like he said, disinterested. So that's what is looking at this moment. Scala, do you have anything to say regarding Southampton going on relegation and sacking their manager, Mr. Evan Jurasic or whatever his name is? If not,
I talked about Southampton in the beginning. Look, Southampton, they used to be a good club, but at the moment, I'm getting a bit fed up with them. Like they go back to the championship, then they come back again, and then it's been happening for the last 2 seasons. So I would like them to be there in the championship for a couple of seasons. I would like the other teams to come back because, we have had enough of Southampton, man. I think. Plus the travel is a bit how should I say, like a bit cumbersome to go all the way down to the coast and come back. So some especially teams like Newcastle and Newcastle, they'll be glad that Southampton are relegated, because from north to all the way to the coast, it's like a bit of a journey. So I think I don't have too much to say on Southampton, although they have got a couple of decent players. Obviously, United are linked with Tyler Dibling, so I don't know if we can get that deal done because we are heavily interested in him. Although I do see the things like 100 million price tag. I don't think they are going to be getting any of that at max 30 or 40 million. That too with add-ons. So they'll be lucky to get that. They have a good winger in Sulemana. I think he absolutely roasted Lenny Yoro when we played Southampton at home. So you can go and see that highlights on YouTube as well. I watched a couple of times. Suleimana versus Lenny Yoro. So yeah, that was probably his welcome to the Premier League moment, Lenny Yoro. So yeah, he's a decent player. Apart from that, I think Kyle Walker-Peters, he's end of his contract, so maybe some team might get him. And Ramsdale, obviously, he'll get picked by some, I don't know, maybe a relegation team or like a, I don't know which team needs a goalkeeper in the Premier League at this moment. But I think
Ramsdale's got relegated with a full different team.
yeah, he's been relegated with, I think, Bournemouth, Sheffield, and this guy, Southampton. So I think he'll be back in the Premier League.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so he'll be back in the Premier League. So, those three players, I think they'll find a club in the Premier League. Other than that, I can't remember too many Southampton players. So, yeah, I think they'll do well. But I was listening to TalkSport today, and they were talking about like Southampton. They don't have the facilities to come back up, because they are a bit hamstrung with their finances as well. So they will not be coming straight back up. So, yeah, that's a good thing, let's have other teams come. I think at the moment, if I'm not wrong, I think Leeds and Sheffield United, they are favorites to come back to the Premier League. If we look at the championship table, I think those teams
Leeds
are
are starting to fall off now. They're down to third.
Yeah. I think they were first. I saw like before in the December or something, like they were quite comfortable.
Normal Leeds performance about this time of year. They always drop off.
The same thing last season. They were so good for first half of the season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then about 5 to 6 games to go, they start dropping points. Just like
I've got a friend who's a Leeds fan. Yeah, as soon as I saw they dropped down to third, I went, normal service has resumed, I see. Just to wind them up. But I think it was last season, yeah. They around this time last year, I think someone called up one of like the radio stations because they were doing a request a song thing. And someone went, I want you to play a song for my friend Ellen Road. Yeah. It was in a joke about Ellen Road, the Leeds Stadium. And it was Love will Tear Us Apart because of everyone changes it to Leeds. Leeds are falling apart again.
Ellen Road, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I want someone to do it again this year. I really do.
Stephen, did they actually play on the radio?
Yeah. It didn't
click to
them,
that's cool.
It was a pun on the name. It was a joke on the name.
Stephen,
so they played it.
That is absolutely cruel of them. Absolutely cruel. I guess most of the Leeds United fans was not happy about that.
All right, guys, we're still live. Live on YouTube.
Stephen, we can't hear you. I'm sorry, Nick, we can't hear you. Sorry.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, yeah. I was sometimes I have to leave it up a little bit and then check my settings and then bring it down. But anyway, guys, we're still live. We have Scala. I think Scala drop off right now, but I want to say thank you very much to Scala for joining us on the show today. We're streaming live on X and YouTube at the same time. Whichever platform you're following us, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe is the most important thing. The only way we can hit our 10,000 subscribers. If you're new on this platform, do make a point and subscribe to the channel. My name is Nate Zion with my co-host Stephen G, and always a special guest on our show is Mr. Tyler joining us here. One of the best top women supporters out there in England. Yeah, he is more specialized in women football. So if you watch it, you go live, you watch games.
Oh, about that. Pause the music for a second, because I'm going to show you what we've seen on the weekend. Here we go.
What is that?
This is the
top one's the US men's national team against Panama during the last men's international break, and the bottom one's a women's team against the Brazil women's team this break.
Oh, the women will be back.
Look at the stadium and how many people are in it.
Oh, let me see. Lift it up again. Let me see one more time.
Oh,
let me see.
So for the men's one, it looks empty, and then for the women's one, it's like packed out.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's not a surprise though, because the women's team's actually
5 times more, you know.
Let me tell you this: here in America, the coaches are very, very bad. Coaches learn from Football Manager. They go and play Football Manager on the computer, and then there you are. You have a child that's parents are paying $8,000 a year for his kid to learn how to play football. They don't teach them well. A drunk coach will be on the pitch and then be yelling at the players just like that without knowing nothing. So playing football in America is one of the most expensive things you can ever invest into, and your kid would never turn out being pro. And when it end up being pro, it end up paying like $10,000, a whole $10,000, maybe what do you call it, a month, $10,000 a month, which is less than how much the Premier League teams are even making. Or maybe,
and then you've got the odd Americans here and there that go to the Premier League, like your Tim Howards and your Clint Dempseys and stuff like that.
Yeah. So playing football, I'm done this season, and I'm done. I'm gonna invest more into American football, which has high possibility or high chance of my kids playing American football instead of playing spending $8,000 on the kid on for soccer, which they don't even regard. They don't push the game. They don't invest into the game. If you go elsewhere, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, football is free. In schools and colleges, it's free. And you have experts, PE teachers that are good, taking the kids through the academies, professional coaches, taking them through the academy, knowing how to hit the ball, knowing how to track the ball, knowing how to juggle with the ball. Here, you don't get none. I got images of this coach teaching my kids how to play, and I can't even do better than these coaches. It's just that it's difficult when you're a father trying to teach your son a profession. They don't learn from me because they know who their father is. They play games with their father, but if it's easy for you to take your kids to somebody else to train them, but then you're gonna end up playing and paying so much money.
Unless like the dad or the mum, depending on the sport and whatever, was like actually made it, then they're like, oh, now I switch on. Now I listen because they've been there, right? So prime example, right? Ironically, I've mentioned Prime. When it comes to American football, you've got Deion Sanders, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every single one of his sons plays American football. You got Shiloh, I think you got Deion Jr., and then obviously you got Shador. Shador and Shiloh are eligible for the NFL this year. I think Deion Jr. does like a YouTube channel or something. Yeah. But the other two are eligible for NFL this year and drafted in a couple of weeks.
But Stephen, you know what? It is very, very common in other sports where the kids also get on and become top players. But it's never common with NBA. You never seen a top athlete that kid was able to grow up to be another top NBA star. It's never there. I don't see it. I haven't seen Shaq's son, LeBron James, who's trying to make what's his name, Bronny, one of the top players in the NBA, and we're so shit that he can't even play he can't play in the NBA. Besides, I haven't seen any other.
He's in the G League, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the G League. It doesn't even, people say it doesn't even belong in the G League. It doesn't even belong in there. You get what I'm saying? So it's never made it. It's never there in the NBA that a top athlete retires and his son took over his dad and also making the name. It's never there. Jordan, I don't even know how many kids Jordan have. None of them are even playing the top level. LeBron James.
But then it also depends, like for all we know, they might not have wanted to do that. So then it makes it different, right? But whereas at least with Bronny, you know he wants to do it. Shador, you know he wants to do it. Shiloh, you know he wants to do it.
They are top athletes. I can tell you, I've seen a lot of them. Their kids play basketball and they've been high school. They've done it in high school. They have been the best in high school, colleges, but never make it to the pro level in the NBA to be able to do what their dad did in the NBA. I have some of them. They've grown old now, not too old, but Shaq age. You get a lot of them are there. They can't make it. And I don't know why. But if we talk about football, there's Clivett's one of them. The Ayew brothers is also one of them. Who again? So many not Cristiano Ronaldo. Who many of them in the Premier League. Many of them in the Premier League that the kids have grown up to become who who let's use what's his name again? Ashley Young. Ashley Young's son is playing the championship, which I believe that over time he will come better and play in the Premier League. Another one of them. Who else? Steven, help me out. In the Premier League, top stars that players have gone on to become.
I wasn't going to say Premier League now. I was going to say Premier League past, yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say Marcus Alonso, his dad and his...
There you go.
Uncle or granddad or something, one of them.
His dad played for Real Madrid. And
then his granddad or his uncle played for Barca.
Yeah.
And Atletico Madrid, I think, as well.
Yeah. So Alonso is in the family. It's very common with football. Very, very common in football. And American football.
American football is very common.
Yeah.
But you don't see it much with basketball.
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't know why. Basketball, none. I've looked through. The other day, I was like, whose son has really made the name besides LeBron James pushing his son there when he's not ready to be there? He uses his ticket or maybe his fame as you want to sign me. Like I said, if you want to sign me, you got to sign Bronny. Bronny's not good enough. That's the beef between Stephen A and LeBron James right now. That's a big beef between the two of them because Stephen A believed that Bronny's not ready to play in an NBA. And his dad is pushing his son to get there when he's not ready, you know.
Oh, by the way, you also got talent in women's sports as well that goes unnoticed. Until you mention the word football/soccer,
yes, sir.
And then there'll be loads of it as well.
In the women's game, I don't know if there is a name with the women's game. Stephen, go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's very interesting how it works out, right? That in some sports it's common practice and it's common that these things happen, and then in other sports it doesn't translate.
Yeah,
like it's very odd how that can work itself out, especially if they were one of the best of their time. Like, to be fair, having said that, some of the best players aren't gonna be good at coaching. That's just the reality of it. So that could have been part of the issue. Like, if Bronny has a good coach now, or in the next couple of years, there's no reason he can't eventually start getting minutes in the NBA. But if he don't have a good coach and LeBron taught him the way that he was taught, it might not work for him because everyone learns different. So that could be another part of the reason as well, because everyone learns different. But if you teach your child the way that you were taught, that might not be working for them. And then they might not learn everything they need to learn. And therefore, the skill doesn't translate and they don't make it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Stephen. People.
Oh, one last thing, Nick.
Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, because of we were saying about the NFL when I mentioned about Sanders, yeah?
Yeah.
So he obviously has the Colorado program, doesn't he, at college? So they had their pro day 2-3 days ago. And one of the NFL scouts was trying to say to the players, about when they're running their 40-yard dash, do it this way, like do it a certain way. And he went, no, you do it how you've prepared to do it. You do it the way that works for you. Don't listen to him. You do it the way you're comfortable doing it and the way that works for you. Because you're an NFL scout, you can identify talent, but why are you telling my players? Because until they get drafted in the NFL, they're my players, basically. He hasn't said this. I'm just saying, like, from his perspective, if I was him, this is how I'm viewing it, right? He said the bit about do it how you're comfortable, right? But the bit I'm saying now about you're an NFL scout, like, you can identify on-field talent, but why are you telling them, do this when you run your 40 and all this, If they've trained a certain way to do it, let them do it that way. If that's what's comfortable for them and gets the best out of them, through their conditioning coach, whoever taught them, right, to prepare them for the draft and that whole process, let them do it that way. That's what they're comfortable with. Why you got to change it last minute and then they might not be comfortable? They might run slower and then that affects their draft status. They could slip in the draft because of that. Because you interfered as an NFL scout saying, no, do it this way. No. They did it a certain way in this whole process. Let them do it that way.
Let him do it that way, Steven said. Tyler, are you back?
No.
What we're gonna do is I'd like to talk to him after this show. So I'm gonna end the stream. Steven, thank you very much for coming on and doing this. It's always interesting and wonderful and intriguing. Anytime we get along, we get together to discuss football, you know.
It's always fun, bro. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun. I love it. Steven, stay in there. Rally also will wait until you come back before we end the stream. But I'll talk to you guys in the backstage.
Yeah.
So he doesn't end the stream.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
So this week, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what your plans are, but I'm watching my local team on Saturday, and then I'm at Chelsea on Sunday.
And then Chelsea will be playing on Thursday, right? Or is it shifted from?
Yeah, but I'm not going to that. Chelsea are playing Thursday this week. It's an early kickoff again. It's a 5:45, so we've got to figure out what we want to do around that.
Is it at home or away?
No, it's away. It's in Poland.
Okay.
So we got to figure out what we're doing with that. But we'll let people know. We'll try and figure it out probably tomorrow, probably, so people know like 2 days in advance, and then we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get some images and do one of my AI preview.
Okay. But yeah, so Chelsea play on Thursday, 5:45 kickoff UK, I think it is. If you get a short script on how they play, how the team plays, send it to me. I'll add it to my AI. What I will suggest to you, this is where I get some information about the teams that Chelsea are playing in the Conference League, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Chelsea, and this is where I get some of the stuff I send you about the Conference League teams. Chelsea have been doing like these information pack things before Chelsea play. Like they did it for Astana, and it's like when they were founded, who the manager is, and stuff like that. And you get quite a bit of information about the club history. So keep an eye out on Chelsea website for that. I'll keep an eye out for it as well. And then if I find it, I'll send it to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
So I'm around Thursday. I'm not around Saturday. I'm at my local. We're so close to getting the title, my local team now. We're about 2 wins away.
What are you doing?
Then I'm at Chelsea on the Sunday. Then 2 weeks later, I've got Chelsea men on the Saturday, and I've got Chelsea women second leg against Barca on the Sunday. And then the week after that, I've got the Chelsea men on the game against Liverpool. This is how busy I am when it comes to football, yeah? The week after that is the Chelsea women game, lost the WSL against Liverpool. And then after that is the final, I think the final home game, 18th of May against United men. There's a lot of football for me the next few weeks.
A lot of football. I hope I can juggle through it. If I add all of that, all
of mine is Saturdays and Sundays. So obviously the only one that really impacts you is this Saturday. Because other than that, when I'm at Chelsea, whether it's the men game or the 2 women's games I'm going to try and get as much video as possible as I normally try to do.
Thank you. Philip Smith, thank you very much for joining us here. Philip. I like that dog. It looks like a Rottweiler. The dog looks like a Rottweiler. But big up to you, Philip Smith. He said, to be honest, we get a manager from the Conference League. If Chelsea go for a manager like Enzo, what do you expect? He is not a Premier League manager. Let's get 30 seconds from Mr. Tyler over here before we wrap up. But Tyler, we're going to end the stream. Do not leave. Stay behind. We're going to have a short program. So we're going to outline the program with you before you leave, okay?
Yeah.
All right, go for it. You got 60 seconds before wrap it up for us.
Well, this weekend, the Premier League has had numerous results over the weekend. You know what? Liverpool lost, Southampton lost, relegated, Tottenham won, and top 5 losing. Everything they've not managed to get a win. This weekend also seen everything we needed to know about what now is the plan. But what about the problems when it comes to survival? Well, Ipswich and Leicester will know about it if they don't do anything now. It's basically gone, and dusted. The last thing I'm going to say is Beautiful day outside, but it's not been a beautiful one for Southampton. But they stay behind, saying they will come back up. That's my wrap up in under 60 seconds.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Tyler. Tyler of the Normality channel with Mr. Ryan Tyler. Ryan. I would sometimes call him Ryla. What do I call you, Ryla?
And the women's football channel as well, may I add.
And the women's football channel as well. But thank you very much, Mr. Philip, for joining us here on the show. I appreciate it. Everyone that made it possible, to all my followers and viewers that are not here, Maya, JC, I123, love you forever, Stephen James, the man himself, and also Tyler, and everyone out there, man like Makeem also in the Chelsea section who came on earlier on the show. And who else? I think we also have a Robert Tyler also on the show today. D Prince, big up to you. And Andrew also came on the show today. We love you all. We want to say continue supporting the channel, and you guys won't regret your day. The Skylar United, thank you very much, United fan. And also Sasuke Guna, haven't heard from him, but I hope he is keeping very, very well wherever he is. Much love to everyone that make this show a reality. And we know we entertain you guys one way or the other. So whatever you think we did not do right, we're open for criticism. You can criticize us. You can give us options on how we can improve our channel. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I always leave you guys by saying Lil Desperandos, which my people, my friends, they all say I'm going to hope. So see you guys again, same time tomorrow. My name is Nate Zion with Stephen G and Riley Tyler. We're out. Draw the curtains. See you guys again, same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
You are a winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. You are a winner. Feel no pain. You are a winner. Feel no pain. Yeah, I woke up feeling like a champion. Every move I make, I got the stamina. Eyes on the prize, never lose sight. Grinding every day, pushing through the night. Got the fire in my soul, never back down. In the ring of life, I'm the one with the crown. Sweat and tears, yeah, I paid the cost. Every battle fought, I'm never lost. Hit the ball, feel the winner. Stand tall, be proud. In the face of doubt, you shout it loud. Feel the strength, let it in. With every step, you're gonna win. Every challenge met, every goal in sight. In the gym, on the grind, it's a warrior's fight. From the bottom to the top, yeah, I've been there. With the heart of a lion, I face the dare. No fear, no limits, just pure drive. In the race of life, I'm alive. With every push, with every strain, I'm a winner, feel the gain. Hit the ball, feel the power. In this moment, it's our hour. Rise above, break the chain. You're a winner, feel no pain. You are a winner, stand tall.